Yeah, this summer was really fun for me because, my first 2 summers I had a World Cup and Olympics, so I didn't really get time off just to work on my game, and this summer I was able to just go out there and work with my trainer, work on my game, and yeah, I was able to go and make improvements in a lot of areas of my game. I worked a lot on my mid-range game, being able to get to spots, different pickups, different footwork, getting into shots, trying to develop that offensive bag, and I think that's been the main focus for me this summer. My defense is always going to be my backbone. That's what has got me to where I am today. So, just building my offensive game. It's been a lot of shots, a lot of different pickups, a lot of different footwork, a lot of different finishing. So yeah, just building that all-round game that I'm going to be able to come in and play. Obviously, playing off guys like Trey and having KP coming this year and Keel, Luke. Like, we got a great team. We got a lot. We're very deep this year. So just trying to fit into my role better and play it at the best of my ability.
Dyson, like you said, your defense is your backbone, but you can always consistently strengthen your strengths while also strengthening your weaknesses. When it comes to your defense, what are you working on, kind of taking to the next level? We all know that you're a great perimeter defender, but obviously you can also improve on some things. So what are you looking at improving when it comes to your defense this season?
Yeah, so I watched a lot of film. Something that I've really, focused on this year is where can we be better team defensively? Where can I help the team more? And obviously, I can come out there and get steals and make plays like that. But when it comes down to getting a stop, like, we need to be in the right positions for each other. We need to, have each other's back and rotate for each other. And for me, I'm trying to see, points where I can be better at help defense. Where should I rotate from? Should I not rotate there? Where can I hold my teammates accountable to rotate from? And for me, coming into this year, I want to be a leader on that end of the floor. I want to be more vocal, and I want to be able to, tell people, hey, no, like, we're not rotating from here. We need to come here. You need to fly around. You need to, close out short here. Like, just little things and like on-ball defense. Trying to fight through screens better, keep my matchup, and yeah, we got a good defensive group. With KP coming in this year that can protect the rim, and yeah, we're gonna change a few things, I'm sure, on that end of the floor, because we need to be a better team defensively. But it starts with having like a leader on that end of the floor and being able to hold each other accountable.
You just spoke on some of the new additions with KP and Nikhil being here. Of course, you're well regarded as one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA, but adding those two guys to the roster, what are some things you're looking forward to as far as giving teams a headache on the defensive end of the ball?
Yeah, I mean, defense is fun. When you're getting stops, you're getting steals, blocks, flying around and creating easy offense, that's fun, and that's energy for the team. So bringing in those guys is only going to help us. And obviously, Nikhil, an elite on-ball defender, KP, elite rim protector. Like, these guys, they're going to help us tremendously. And for us, it's just about building that chemistry, knowing what our tendencies are on defense, and figuring each other out. Like, obviously KP is going to be at the rim, but I'm not just going to send my guy to there and rely on KP to be there. It's about him knowing what to help me as well. And obviously Nikhil, we can switch things and pick up full court and make life difficult. So I think there's just so many different routes that we have this year that we can take, and it's going to be exciting. So I'm looking forward to it.
Dyson, you talked multiple times last year about kind of wanting to remind people, like, you had played point guard in the past. With this team not having a traditional backup point guard and a lot of different ball handlers, how much do you want to be involved in kind of that aspect of the game?
Yeah, I mean, basketball is so positionless now. When I was a point guard, growing up, my whole career, and that's something that I've always been. And I think point guards a lot about having feel for the game. And you're gonna have point guards that have the best handles, that are scorers. You're gonna have passing point guards. Like, there's so many different aspects to it. And me being able to when Trey goes off and back up him, and just playing fast as a point guard, getting us into offense. Being able to get downhill, create for everyone. Like, point guard doesn't have to be the person that walks it up the floor and gets us in a set. And sometimes you got to do that when when their teams are going on a run, but it's just about, you know, knowing the game, knowing how the flow's going, knowing what the team needs at certain times. And I think one of my strengths as a point guard is just being able to, you know, play fast. You know, we got, you know, Jalen, you know, who can play fast. We got, you know, Zach, like guy. We got athletic wings who can get out and run. And I think, you know, especially like at times in trays off the floor, those are where we can take advantage of, you know, being able to use our size and length and get out and play fast. So, yeah, me knowing that I can play point guard, and I've done that in the past. You know, I think my years now, I'm going into year 4, I'm starting to feel more comfortable at that position, and I know what to expect at that position. So it's just about, you know, building on that and yeah, giving Trey, you know, being able to have coach trust that Trey can go off and someone's able to, you know, be disciplined and run that spot.
Hey Dyson, first off, I just want to say it's crazy that after a season where you set the league record in deflections, #1 in ISO stop, #1 in drive stop on like the highest matchup difficulty in the league, it's crazy that you want to continue to get better. And I want to ask you a question particularly about I believe you're a very ethical defender. What I mean by that is you don't really embellish calls. I don't usually see you talk a lot of trash, but Nickeil Alexander-Walker is in the 99th percentile in offensive fouls drawn. You're in the 99th percentile in steals, but you don't typically take those offensive fouls. Do you see an area for that to grow in where, you know, you might want to manipulate the rules just a little bit? Is that something you think you may add to your game when you're navigating screens and drawing those types of fouls?
Yeah, absolutely. And I still think I got so much more improvement on that end of the floor. Obviously, I think I have the tools to, you know, be able to do it all. It's just about, you know, the game moves fast, and you got to make quick decisions out there. And you know, it's like half a second. You got to choose whether you're going up to, you know, contest, whether you're going to, you know, step in and take a charge. And that's something I want to do more. And the offensive game evolving. You know, obviously there's people elite at drawing fouls the past couple of years, and so I think one of my strengths is keeping people off the free throw line, not fouling people, and being able to contest shots, you know, without fouling. And something that I do want to do better is, you know, draw more offensive, you know, calls, whether it be coming over, taking a charge, you know, whether it be, I mean, basketball's flopping. Like you got to know if you get hit wrong on a screen, like you got to sell it, otherwise you're not going to get the calls. So it's about knowing when I can do that stuff and knowing when I have to be disciplined, fight through things, get back in front. But yeah, so there's still so much more improvement I think I have in me, and like I said, it's all about making quick decisions out there and making the right decisions. So I'm looking forward to, you know, the game slowing down even more this year and being able to go out and execute that.
Dyson, we saw you as a correspondent for the NBA during the finals. Just what was that experience like for you, and will you be joining us on the media side? And
it's hard, you know. I got to give you guys credit. You know, that's hard. You know, trying to think of questions on the spot and stuff like that. But you know, I really enjoyed doing that, just to see the different side of, you know, the media and everything that goes into the behind the scenes with the camera work and film and stuff like that. It was really cool, and obviously I want to be there on the players' side, you know, but just to experience the atmosphere of the finals, and it was just a whole nother level. And I hope I'm not joining, you know, the media side anytime soon, but I did have some fun, yeah.
Dyson, back here. I'm curious, looking back to last season, what was it specifically about this team and organization that made you so comfortable to play the role you needed to, but also progress as a player? Because I have to believe whatever your answer is, it's going to be the foundation this season to help you become that vocal leader that you're wanting to be. Yeah,
100%. Coach Q was huge for me. You know, coming into this year, last year, he gave me so much confidence in myself. He gave me that starting role. He wanted me to go out there and just be myself. Like, he's never, you know, told me not to shoot a shot. He's never told me not to go out there and make a play. Like, he gives me so much, you know, confidence in myself. And you know, as well as Coach Q, it was also just about me and my mindset coming into the year, knowing that I wasn't happy with my first, you know, 2 years that I had in New Orleans. I wasn't myself. I wasn't the aggressive self I could have been. I felt like I'd taken a step back. So, you know, if I wanted to change my career around and go out there and you know, be that impact player I know I could be, it was about, you know, just going out there, playing free, not being, you know, afraid of anyone, and that's what I did. And I'm looking to build on that every year, and I know what it takes now. And this organization's been great. My teammates are great. They give me, you know, so much, you know, confidence. You know, the front office, you know, everyone's easy to talk to in this organization, and it just, you know, it just feels like home. Like, you come in every day, you want to be there, you want to work, you want to stay around, you want to talk to people, and when you're in that sort of environment, it's, you know, it makes it a lot easier to, you know, flourish out there.
Dyson, we've seen your company have a couple clothing drops during the summer. How cool is it to see guys like Muhammad Gay, even today, come and wearing your stuff and having that support for you?
It's great, having my teammates support me with, the clothing line. I always, show them stuff and they love it. They always want stuff. So I'm gonna continue to, get them things. And fashion's like I love doing that outside of basketball. I love my clothing line. It's something I've always wanted to do. So to have that up and running and my teammates supporting and people supporting it, it means a lot to me. And yeah, it's just one of my passions that I have outside of basketball, that I'm able to, take my mind off the game a little bit and go out there and be creative. Thank you.